I think I've always been open to interracial dating. I just haven't like actively sought out a white man or non-black man to date. You know what I mean? Like, not that I seek out people to date, but like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't gone on my way to like be in spaces where I could potentially be dating a white man, or like even on dating apps. When I was on apps, I kind of gravitated more towards the black men. I mean, I did date somebody. This is a long time ago. This is not in adulthood, but I dated a white dude in high school, like my senior year. And I liked him. That was my boo. That was my little boo. But we did have some weird energy, like related to his family. So that's always a big thing that I consider. Is it kind of gives me pause, really, because it's like you could be, the man himself can be cool, but what about his family? Are they gonna accept me? Are they fucking Trump supporters? You feel me? All those things have to be taken into consideration. But I agree with you. Like, I don't feel like women, black women in particular, should limit ourselves. Like, I think we all kind of have this desire to have, like, or we idealize black love specifically because, that's it's kind of been instilled in us, but also, I don't know, it's just something about having that black ass family, right? But I think that, if the point you made about all men potentially not being shit, right? That kind of being the case regardless of what the race or ethnicity of the man is, then we greatly limit ourselves by only looking to black men, because it's like there's already so few good men in general, and then we're limiting ourselves by race or ethnicity. That's going to make the dating pool that much smaller. Then we got to talk about, like, finding people that are aligned with us in terms of, like, values, morals, kind of just energetically aligned, vision, purpose, all these things, right? And then that shit just keep getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So, I also feel like there's so many black men who date outside of their race who hate black women. Like, the self-hate thing is really more so on the side of black men than it is black women. I know a lot of black women are hesitant to even date outside their race, because they have just such a reverence for like black love and everything. So I think the girl you were talking about on Threads, a little bit off on that assessment. But I think that more importantly than black love, I think it's important for black women to be loved, right? So if we have more of a likelihood of being loved properly by people who are not, or men that are not black, then I think that's what we should do. You feel me? Like, I don't know. It's like, go where you're loved. If the black men aren't showing up, ain't acting right, and don't love you the way you need to be loved, then go where a man is going to love you, where, regardless of what his race is. So I'm open to dating outside of my race. Would I prefer to date somebody within the race that I don't have to, like, combat the whole racial divide and potentially their family being weird? And sure, of course, but I think that, it's kind of, I don't know. I just feel like we're greatly limiting ourselves by only being open to black men. I don't know. I mean, if we want to talk astrology, me personally, I have a fucking Sagittarius fifth house, Aquarius seventh house. Like, I'm bound to like be attracted to people that are different than me, in some way. So that's why I've always kind of been found like non-black men attractive. But again, it's one of those things where I've been hesitant to actually pursue it. One of those things when I do consider dating outside of my race where you just never know which way it's going to go, right? If a man is being genuine, if it's fetishizing, if he just want to kind of get a fix or whatever. So, but I'm open, all that to say that I'm open to dating interracially. It's not my number one choice. Like, I'm not a proponent of interracial dating, but I'm a proponent of black women being loved correctly by whomever whoever wants to do that, So, yeah.
That's a bar right there, that little quote at the end. I'm not a proponent of interracial dating, but I am a proponent of black women being loved properly, or however you said it. So go ahead, go post that or something. Shit might go viral. But yeah, no, I totally Agree with what you said. And yeah, the self-hate does seem to come more so from the black man side, because even how they, they'll get with a white woman or a woman of another race, and then they'll like simultaneously like dog black women out any chance that they get. So it's definitely from their side. And yeah, like even black women that I have seen in interracial relationships, I rarely see them like talking down like on black men and "You black men ain't shit and da 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 da," the way that black men be doing that are in interracial relationships. Yeah, definitely not like something I've just been gung ho about, like never, because I do feel like we have been conditioned as black people to value black love, black power, black is beautiful, like black, 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 and I think that is a beautiful thing. Like, I know why we as black people have had to go so hard in preserving our culture, because it extends beyond just our race, and how we identify in that way. It's a cultural thing too. So I get it. And I think that's why I've been so like, I want to be with a black man because I want to preserve the culture. And I think that's something that so much of us, like, we hang on to because we've been stripped of so much of our culture. And, you know, we want to hold something, to have something. And I do feel like black women specifically, we have a very strong desire to preserve blackness, essentially, in our relationships, in childbearing, and all the things. And it's just unfortunate. It's just not a lot of black men, when we even just think of systemic racism and how many black men are locked up, and how many black men are, just struggling to kind of find their way in this world. And a lot of it does have to do with the system that's set up against them, but, some of it does have to do with their own unwillingness to kind of take accountability for certain things. And, like I was just saying earlier, a lot of them aren't really viable partners. They're just not, they think that just being a man, a black man at that, makes you worthy of partnership, makes you worthy of a wife, makes you worthy of childbearing. Like, and I personally don't think that is the case. Like, it's one thing, okay, you as a black man, you have created financial security for yourself. That's a beautiful thing. Hey, but what is your inner world looking like? What is your emotional world looking like? What is your mental health looking like? Shit, what's your goddamn physical health looking like? What are your relationships looking like? It's just like so much else like that kind of goes overlooked when it comes to black men and just their approach to life. It's very much still focused on a lot of the 3D and physical and the material. And then we wonder why there's just such a disconnect between men and women. Like the gap in emotional awareness, intelligence, it just is going to continue to grow further and further. Um, between us, and just making it all the more difficult for us to actually be in relationship with one another, and not even just on a romantic level. We can't even be in relationship with niggas on a platonic level, because first of all, most of them want to fuck. But it's just like men, they have so much unlearning to do. The patriarchy, Western patriarchy, has really like fucked them up. They have so much unlearning to do. Most of them don't want to even acknowledge that, patriarchy even exists. Like it's a fucking tooth fairy or some shit. And if you're not even willing to acknowledge that, you're definitely unwilling to do the work and the unlearning that is required of you, unlearning and learning that is required of you to like truly self-actualize. You know, because when you're truly self-actualized and you're fully embodied, like you can really show up like in relationships with others in a more whole way. Like I feel like a lot of men, they're just showing up like fragmented, like in just little fucking pieces, and then a bitch is coming along wanting to play Mrs. Fix It, and you know, I can clean him up, I can shape him, I can help him be a better, like fuck all that. Like we don't have time for that. You know, there are plenty of men out here that have been doing the work on themselves, and I think that is just another layer when we talk about interracial dating. One thing we maybe don't have to consider in dating men that are not black is fucking systemic racism and just all of the fucking traumas and stuff that we as black people have had to experience and still impacts us to this day. Like, you know, that might be one less thing that we would have to deal with in dating someone outside of our race, you know, because there's so much heavy lifting that has to be done, like in a black relationship, that, you know, I feel like most of us, we just like, oh, most people just don't care about it. They're just like, very much consumed by the 3D and oh, I'm paying bills to survive and that's literally all I'm here to do. And it's like, no, like, come on. We always talk about healing these generational patterns, breaking generational cycles. I'm telling you, people, it has more to do than just like securing financial resources for ourselves. You know, that's all everybody really cares about. And it's just like there's so much healing that we have to do, like on an emotional, psychological level, that people aren't really participating in, or women are participating in, but we don't really see men participating in this kind of work. And that is what's going to continue to create further division amongst us. So it's just like, maybe I should just go be with someone that doesn't, not to say like everybody has trauma, even people that are non-black, you know, they have trauma, and you know, other races, they deal with racism too. But it's just like I feel like our stuff is just, it's different. Like it is different. Like being like centuries of like enslavement and just violence like against our people has done just unthinkable unthinkable like effects that it has had on us. And I don't think that um everybody really takes that into consideration, especially men. I don't think they really like sit and think about shit like this sometimes, and I'm just like, bro, like there's so much work for us to be doing, like even on behalf of like our ancestors and shit. And y'all aren't taking it upon yourselves to do this work. Y'all just think it's all about making money and shit. And then wondering why you are increasingly lonely, because that money ain't finna like support you for real, for real. Sure, it's gonna pay your bills, but that money ain't finna listen to you when you've had a hard day. Like that money ain't finna hold you at night. That money ain't finna be there for you when you get sick or some shit. Like it's just like we just have interesting relationship dynamics within the black community. So I say all of that to say yes, like hey, black women, do your thing, date outside your race, don't limit yourself. I guess, finally kind of getting more into this space of being more open to it. I briefly dated a white guy, didn't have the great experience with it, so I kind of just like got really closed off to that. But he was young, I was younger, you know, in a different space and stuff. So, I mean, I definitely could, I'm sure, connect with better representations of the Caucasoid nation.